Okay, so now we're actually drawing our own sine or cosine functions. You might have either one in this example. In this example, I have a sine function, so we're going to go with that. Now, you're not going to just jump right into this graph at first. It helps if you think about what some of these features are before you get to the graph. And we can pull these right out of the equation. Remember, the amplitude comes from the number in front. That's 3. The equation of the midline is shown right over here. You wouldn't say 1. Okay, you would say y equals 1 because this is an equation of the midline, not just the midline. For the period, we'll get to that in a second. And the phase shift, okay, you know what? Let's actually talk about the period. Right here, that's the b value. Okay, so I would say b equals 2. And period equals 2 pi over b. That's our period equation. So that means 2 pi over 2, and that means pi. So the period is pi. Now, the phase shift, we still haven't gotten to this yet. We're going to get to those in a little bit, probably in the next lesson. That tells you how much your trig function has been shifted horizontally, either left or right. And if you look at the original function right here, you see all that's going on is 2x in there. It's not 2x plus something or 2x minus something. If you remember, the general form of this equation is going to look something like this. Bx minus h, okay, plus k. If we had a phase shift, that's where it would be right there. It would be a plus or minus something inside the parentheses acting on the x, and we don't have that. So we just say our phase shift is 0. Okay? Now, you've got your key features. This is really all we need to make a graph. And it helps, as you're getting practice at this, to think of this in terms of another graphing window. Okay, so the left edge of your graphing window, I'm going to draw this in red. The left edge is on the phase shift. My phase shift is 0, so that's x equals 0. The right edge, what you do is, if you want to find the right edge of your graphing window, you go a distance of the period beyond the left edge. Okay, so the period is pi. That means the right edge is going to be right here. And it doesn't look like it's going to use much of our graph, but that's fine. Now the amplitude and the midline, it doesn't actually matter what order you draw these lines in. Okay, you could have started with midline and amplitude. Maybe because those are easier, I would have started there. But here's my midline. Okay, that's y equals 1. And your amplitude is 3, so that goes 3 above the midline. That means the top of your graphing window is going to be like right here, and the bottom is going to be, let's see, 1 minus 3 is going to be down here. Okay, so the sine function that I'm about to draw is all going to fit within this box right here. Okay, that's our graphing window. Now, if you think about the sine function in its parent form, it looks like this, right? It starts at the middle, goes up, down, then back up. So where's the middle of our graphing window? Well, it's right here. And you know what? I'm going to use blue dots to really make this stand out a little more clearly. There's the start of our graphing window, left middle, and then it's going to end at the same place, right middle. It's going to cross in the middle. Okay, that's these 3 points right here. And then we're going to hit the top and hit the bottom at like these quarter points. So that's 1/4 of the way through our graphing window. This is 3/4 of the way through our graphing window. So this is the image that we're trying to draw. The question becomes, how do you actually do that on the computer? Well, take a look down here. You'll see there's 2 buttons. This is a cosine button. Okay, that's not what we want. We want the sine button right here. And if you look really closely at this thing, you'll see that the sine button, I'm trying to draw this image here. It has something that looks like this. It shows you a sine picture, and then it has a little red dot in the middle of it, and another red dot at the height. What that means is it's going to let you click on those 2 points, and from that it will build the sine function for you, if you just know those 2 points. And the reason I call this the sine function button is because with one of those points starting in the middle, it makes it very easy to draw the actual sine function. So if I were drawing this graph, I would click this button right here, this sine button, and you know what, I want to use purple, that'll show up better. I'm going to click on my sine button right here, and then the 2 dots that I'm going to choose are this one and this one right here. Okay, and that's going to make the sine function snap into place. You are not drawing the grid lines that I used to show you the rest of this. Like all these dotted things in here, that's not going to be part of your actual graph. That was just a thought exercise to tell us where the function actually goes. Now, as you hold the button down, right? Like if you're holding your mouse on this, you can move it left and right, and that's going to make this curve expand or contract as you need it. So keep an eye on where your function is ending. Remember, you want that to be the period. And as you move this second dot, the top dot, left and right, then this one is going to move also. So you can use that to sort of fine-tune it into place. Okay, that's enough about the graphing. Now, the last part of this question asks for the domain and range. Think about what a sine function is. Just let me get all this junk out of here for the moment. A sine function looks something like this, okay? On and on and on forever, right? So the domain should be pretty obvious. Negative infinity to infinity. And that will always be your domain for a sine or cosine function. The range does take a little bit of math, but it's hardly any. We already did everything we need up here. Take a look. The midline was y equals 1. The amplitude was 3, which means it goes as high as 1 plus 3. That's the absolute maximum. So we're not getting any higher than 4. And the minimum is just going to be 1 minus 3. So that's negative 2. And you put square brackets around this one because you see these points right here? They really are hitting the minimums and the maximums. I know my purple graph is not really accurate, but see, it hits those maximums. It doesn't just come close. It actually touches them. That's why we use square brackets on the range.